You're listening to the Talking Shrimpers podcast, sponsored by Surgical Holdings.
Welcome to TSP. I'm your host, Sensei Phil. With me tonight is Charlie, Katie, Finn, and hopefully Emily. And we've got fan of the week, Chris. Welcome, Chris. How you doing?
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me on. Happy to be here. Thanks.
No problem. So, first of all, Chris, where do you normally sit in the Roots Hall? Which sort of stand?
I'm usually in the West End. I don't have a season ticket.
Oh, okay, opposite, yeah.
Most of the time I'm in the West End. Yeah.
So you get a different kind of view from us.
Yeah.
Finn, is that where you are normally?
Yeah, West Ham,
Yeah,
Block V.
Yeah,
I won't tell you the row in
fine.
case anybody comes and stalks me.
Well, we all know where Charlie sits because he's in that random yellow seat, isn't it?
Yeah,
You'll easily
I gave
see
that
him.
game away.
You did. Right. First of all, really difficult news. So, first of all, I just want to wish a friend, Nick, all the best tonight. He was sadly involved in a hit and run incident in Lee Broadway last night. So, hit by a drink driver, abandoned the car. We believe it is probably stolen. So, if anyone was in the area and you've got any information, please pass it on to the police. I'm desperate to find that absolute scumbag. Yeah, not good. So yeah, we wish Nick all the best, and hopefully they'll get the guy. Not good. Let's say hi to Finn first. What you been up to? We had problems getting you on last time, didn't we?
Yeah, it's been quite a busy few weeks, really. I haven't been on in 2 weeks, I don't think. The podcast.
Yeah, you got a new chair, new mic.
Yeah, it's been a busy old few weeks. I was in Centre Parks for like the last 5 days. I only got back the day before Tamworth. Went to the Tamworth game, and then I haven't been on so long. I think my birthday has happened since I was last on as well. So
when was that?
13th, on the day of the Truro game.
Happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. But yeah, it's been a busy old time. So, but yeah, it feels good to be back. Yeah, I've done a lot of travelling as well. So a lot of driving for me to Centre Parks. Bit less if you're in Southend, but obviously the extra an hour and a half. So
Which one did you go to?
I went to the one just north of Essex, like in Norfolk sort of area, like
Elvedon.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, and did all sorts of activities. So I was a bit knackered for a few days, but
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
I thought, what better to do after a big trip to go to Tamworth? So that's what I did.
That's it. Did they at Elvedon? They got that jump thing still.
Yeah, I can tell I didn't go near that, but they do have it.
Did you not? You might have wanted to after the Tamworth game.
No way.
They've been lining up to jump off of that. Okay. Yeah, not been there for a while, actually. Katie, how you been? What you been up to?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not a lot, to be honest. Just working, finishing Christmas shopping. Yeah, just trying to get everything ready. But I didn't really want to brave the shops any closer to Christmas.
Yeah, mental now, isn't it? Wherever you go, it's going to be heaving.
But yeah, no, all good.
Good. Charlie?
Yeah.
Any interviews this
Katie,
week?
really.
Photo shoots?
No, I think that's all. There's been a couple of publications, but no, nothing brand new. So yeah, that's sort of slowly dying off for now, anyway. But yeah, no. To be fair, I'm just sort of recovering. I've had a bit of the old man flu, I think, a couple of days ago.
Probably got it off me.
Sort of hit me for 6. To be fair, yeah. But I'm coming to the end of that now. A little bit chesty, but I'll power through.
Good. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just power through. You'll be fine. We're all behind you. Chris, yeah. So how long have you, going back to you, how long have you supported the club?
Well, not a complicated story, I guess, but came to my senses when I was in primary school. I used to follow Millwall with my dad.
Oh,
cool. Bit of a
brutal
tough subject. But yeah, I supported Millwall for a few years and then came to my senses and supported Southend since I was probably about maybe 8 or 9, I think.
Good man. You saw the light.
The Freddie Eastwood era.
Yep.
And obviously when Kevin Mayer was playing as a player. Yeah, I've been supporting them for a good 20 years now. Through the sort of thick and thin of it all.
So all the pain.
Has it been a good 20 years?
It's been a decent 20 years, yeah. I mean, recently maybe not so much, but yeah, it's been a good time. had a good few trips to Wembley and all that sort of thing. So
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
All-time favourite player?
Gosh, big question. The obvious one would be Freddie Eastwood, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of sort of like the bigger, sort of more sort of controversial players, like Barry Core and Benel Mosney and all those sorts of players.
Yeah.
That cause trouble, but like people like them for that. So I
Must have
was
been an
I was
old
quite
Ranger
a
fan then.
Yeah.
maybe not. But like just the players that sort of make a difference, have a bit of personality, I quite like. But yeah, I'd probably say just Freddie Eastwood, just for the obvious reasons, really.
Well. On that note, we've got some big news at the end of the show. A big reveal. We've got a really extensive interview with. We're not going to say yet, but one of those type of players. Really great interview. So we will tell you all about that, and that'll be released on Christmas Eve for you. So, yeah, let's talk last couple of games. So we've got a couple of games to catch up with. We're going to do it in reverse order, so we end on a decent note. Obviously, Tamworth. You said you were there, Finn. Not a great result at all, by any means.
No, not a great result, and it's kind of similar story that we talk about every week, where we had a lot of the ball, but just couldn't score, and it was frustrating at times because I think when it went 1-1, I really think we could have taken the game. But I think personally, I don't like to criticise him too much, but I have to say, Mayer, I think he should have made the subs earlier. I do think sometimes with the subs, he has a tendency to think subs are like a last resort. If you're losing, then you'll bring them on to help you out. But I think sometimes, particularly in the Tamworth game, where we're drawing, that would be the time to bring on Kendall or bring on Spazov. I know they came on later on, but I think you're thinking maybe the 60th minute, that's where you start making subs, and it could have freshened things up. But it was just.
Well, he has done that a lot recently, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and it has made a difference.
Yeah, and I just think against Tamworth in particular, it was just weird to me how late they came in, because you never know if maybe they weren't fit enough to come on earlier. But as an outside perspective, I think those subs should have come on, and then they would have made a difference. I think it was a frustrating game again, where we had a lot of the ball but just couldn't score.
So we had a few. I didn't see the subs actually, but I think I heard that Gus was missing. Obviously, I know he didn't start. He started Austin on that side. I don't think he was involved at all, was he? Walker started, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And
Walker and Cards.
Yeah, it's kind of a partnership up top that we haven't really seen too much. But I think, I'll be completely honest, I don't think it really was working for a lot of the game. And I think particularly that's another thing with the subs, where he was on a yellow as well. And I just thought that would be the time to get another forward on when we're chasing a goal. It weren't really working up top. But I do think it is worth saying that despite it not being a good result and not the best game, I think it is worth saying there were some positives. I think Sam Austin, for example, I think he looks really comfortable in that wing back position, I think, and he looks more comfortable than he does in the centre for me. Leon Parallon
is that can I just ask, is that comfortable going forward or comfortable at the back as well? Because I did look at the second goal and I kind of put a little bit of blame on him.
Yeah, I get that, but to be honest, overall, like throughout the game, from what I saw, I thought he was actually pretty decent at both ends of the pitch.
Play.
I think, for me, in the centre, he's not really quite what we expected. I think because he's quite a big name, bigger club, he maybe hasn't performed quite to that standard. Not been terrible, I'm not saying that, but I think on the on the wing, he surprised me a lot actually. He was looking good going forward. He made some good tackles. I know what you mean about the goal, but I think overall, I think he was pretty good. And I think there were some positives you could pick out of it, but just at the end of the day, I think it's these kind of games that are going to cost us at the end of the season.
Yeah. Now, Chris, you watched it on DAZN. We've talked a lot about the goalkeepers. Now, the first goal I did see. Colin again has made an absolute clanger, and I said a few weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, that for me neither of those goalkeepers are taking that shirt and saying, "You're not going to shift me from it." You know, it seems to be every time one of them comes in, they only have a couple of games before they do this again. And yet again, another bad one. Colin should not have dropped, in my opinion. You know, I don't think he was heavily challenged for it. He looked like he was leaning off balance, and obviously he just dropped it and the fella's just tapped it in. What's your view on the goalkeepers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I listened to the previous episode where you sort of mentioned that, and I do agree with that. I think both Hayes and Colin are both, not sort of grabbing that position and saying, I'm going to be number one for the team. It was really frustrating, obviously, and a goal that shouldn't have happened, obviously. First goal, shouldn't have happened. Second goal, I just think was unlucky. Couldn't really do much about it. Just a really wicked deflection that happens sometimes. But yeah, it was a really frustrating goal to concede, obviously, and we did struggle, obviously, in the first half to come back from that. Obviously, second half we started really, really well. I think Ollie Coker was definitely man of the match for me in general. But yeah, going back to Colin, I think that I do still feel sorry for him. I know that obviously he made the mistake, shouldn't have happened, but you do see those mistakes as well in the Premier League and in the sort of upper leagues as well. I remember I was watching Millwall sort of at the weekend as well in the early kickoff, and their goalie made the sort of not the same mistake, but a similar mistake. So it's not it's not just a National League thing where it's just Colin and Hayes making these mistakes. It happens everywhere, even in the Premier League. So I don't think it's sort of fair to put all the blame on him, because at the end of the day it does happen, and I think goalkeepers obviously they are the position where you sort of think they make a mistake and they get all the blame, and that is probably the brutal sort of reality of being a goalie. But yeah, it was a frustrating goal to obviously concede.
Yeah, you don't get much praise, to be fair, do you?
No.
It's not often. And like you say, quite often when you're making the headlines, it is normally for the wrong reasons.
Sorry, do you mind if I just say one thing on that point? And I'm not just saying this like in hindsight, because my dad can vouch for me. He was there when I said it before the game. But when I saw the lineup and I saw Colin in there, and this is no disrespect to Colin, because to be honest, I'm quite a big fan of Colin. I think he's quality, particularly for his age. But I was a little bit surprised to see him starting and not Hayes. And I say that because Tamworth are a really tall, physical team. And also, if you factor in, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but you have to factor in the throws of Tommy Tonks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what led to it, wasn't it?
A tall, strong keeper who's just going to be able to punch him out. And, as I say, I think Colin's like shot stopping and his handling is really good most of the time. But I think when you play in a really tall team and they've got a throw that is going to come into the box wherever he throws it from, for me, I thought that Hayes would be starting, because that seems like a sensible choice to me.
Charlie, I don't think Kev knows really at the moment who his number one is. I was just about to say, I was reading today, Dave Martin, who was with us, he's now moved from Ipswich to Chelsea to, coach their under-16s to under-18 goalkeepers. Obviously highly regarded in the football world. We were in some ways, we were quite lucky to have Dave with us. Cracking guy, really lovely guy, and a great coach. And I thought under Dave, Colin really come on, but it just seems like he has, it's no disrespect to Ansi, but it looks like he's gone backwards a little bit. And for me, Kev, who's your number one?
Yeah, I mean, I think goalkeepers, I think comes down to a confidence thing as well. And I think for the last couple of seasons, Colin was pretty much our number one. He was the first name on the scheme. He didn't really have much competition. We had the odd loan signing that would come in, and if he was injured and stuff. But it's only sort of this season that we've actually got like a number two, if you like, behind him, fighting for that same place in Nick Hayes. And the fact that neither of them have had a real, as you've touched on earlier, a real sort of run of games. They do. They play a handful of games and then they get swapped around or for whatever reason. And I just think that has that got something to play in things? I don't know. I mean, with Colin, as you say, I thought Colin on. Don't want it all just to keep going talking about the goalkeeper situation and stuff, but obviously it was a big talking point. That throw, we know Tommy Tonks, as soon as he's got that ball, it's as good as a corner. It's getting launched, and he'll put it straight on top of the keeper. It's not the first time we played them. We know exactly what we're doing, and I think when we played them at Roots Hall, we managed that really, really well, really well. But this game, I mean, that's a ball that we shouldn't put blame on people, but unfortunately, there's no one else to blame other than Colin on that situation. It was an individual error that, as a goalkeeper, that's your bread and butter. You should be coming out claiming them. If you can't catch it, then thump it, do something, tip it over the bar, whatever. It's a congested box. So unless you're 100% certain that you can get hold of that ball and make it stick, like you say, and I think there was a few times after that he's come out and he's punched it clear. So, it's obviously in the back of his mind. And there was just a few moments in that game where I was just a bit uneasy with his performance. I just didn't feel overly confident, just a bit of his positioning. There was the odd time where the ball was coming over and he was, a bit higher up in the pitch than I would typically like. There's situations there where I think the defenders could have just dealt with that, and it just puts a little bit of doubt and a bit of confusion at the back there. And then, you got strikers that will just pounce on that and create opportunities. Yeah. There was one or two chances where that happened as well. But the frustrating thing is that Colin actually made, there's 2 or 3 really good saves he made. Yeah, he did make a class save, actually. There's 2, I just think it's the inconsistency. If he just gets rid of those little problems, and I mean, he's not a new keeper anymore. He played over 100 games for us now. He's established. Do you know what I mean? And I
think you've got to know when to try and claim it and when to punch, haven't you? And that seems to be the issue, the decision making.
Yeah, and there's, by all means, be confident. I'm not knocking that, but sometimes it's just maybe just slow it down a little bit. Just take a breather and look at, have faith in your defenders, maybe sometimes the best option isn't, catching the ball and that. It is just tip it over the bar, punch it clear, whatever. It might look ugly, but unfortunately, that's how Tamworth play. They're going to set up, they're going to make the most of those throw-ins, and if any opportunity they can get for a throw-in, they're launching it into that box. That means we have to punch it clear every single time. So be it, to clear the danger, and then we'll, pick up on phase 2 or rebuild. I mean, I think the goalkeeping situation is becoming a real problem for us at the moment. I think if you look across the team now, obviously we're looking in other areas, we're strengthening, we've got cards in. And I felt for Cardwell actually in the Tamworth game, I just felt he didn't really get much of the service that he was relying on scraps really. And touching on what Finn said about Mayer with the changes, I feel like maybe, can't be commenting on other games, but with Tamworth, obviously that first game, the first half, I felt we were really, really wasteful in possession. We were giving away the ball really needlessly. And then we come out in the second half, we're like a different team possessed. We got that early goal and a really good goal, well taken by Cokes, really good finish on his 100th appearance for the club. And you just felt then, right, okay, let's push on now. And I think Kev may have felt that, you know what, you guys, you started this game, you got us in this situation, get us out of it, go and prove yourself that actually I'm capable of getting us the result in this game. And maybe you wanted to put a bit of faith into the players that were already out there. They went on to get the goal and wanted, and thought, I'll leave you out there to push on. And I mean, I think Slavy came on with about 20 minutes to go. And I think the other changes, as Finn said, were sort of 5 minutes to go, which at that point, we're 2-1 down, you're chasing the game. I feel Finn's frustration that make those changes quicker. But I just think the service in general was quite poor.
As you said, it was a good finish. I was chatting to Cokes actually in the week. He was absolutely mortified his goal was taken away recently. And I said, don't worry, you're going to score this weekend. And he did. Popped up again. Got to say, really well played by Leon. I thought he did superb out on the left. To break past their midfield. Walker also involved. And good finish. Chris, what have you made of Ollie Coker's form recently? He's back in the goals, playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously since Hussein's been injured, he's really taken that position and made it his own. I think the most recent games, like, especially in the last month, he's definitely been sort of easily man of the match contender for a few games now.
Yeah, it's a nice finish. Well, looking at the winning goal for Tamworth, for me, Austin's got to do better and close the guy down. But I can't blame Colin for that goal. Obviously, Taylor threw himself in front of it, tried to block it, and it's just wrong-footed Colin gone on the other side. One of those, but maybe we could have stopped the ball coming into the box. Yeah, disappointing. Finn, what did you make of the... I mean, what were we like after that? It looked like we were still going for it, but did you think 2-1? No, that's probably it done.
Yeah, it was frustrating. I think it's as Chris said about the chance that Austin had. It was I know I said he played well earlier, but he did make some mistakes, and that to not even get that one on target where he skied it over the bar was really poor. It
was disappointing.
Yeah, and
got to hit the target there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he'd hit it at the goal and the keeper might have made a good save, or then that's fair enough. But to not even get it on target was really disappointing, to be honest, because all you got to do is really hit it low and hard, and it should go in. But yeah, the whole game was just frustrating, and we were chasing it at the end. But as me and Charlie was saying, it just felt like we had an opportunity there when it was 1-1 to get some subs in, get some fresh legs, push on, and we just didn't really take it. And then suddenly we're 2-1 down, bring on subs. I think Slavy came on 78th minute or something, so like 12 minutes, which is just, it's not. And then I think Kendall came on with about 5. It's just not enough time to make a proper impact, to be honest. And to be honest, we've been speaking about how Walker for so many weeks has been really good off the bench. So
yeah,
I would prefer to start Slavy and then play Walker off the bench, because I think that's where they're both better. But yeah, it's just a frustrating day all round, really, and freezing cold as well. I wish I
it's never great when you're losing. It's really cold and wet and horrible and windy either, is it? Not great. Well, obviously, Kev was very unhappy, and like you say, a lot of the travelling fans weren't too happy either. So I'm sure no one was. But hey ho, that's it. Katie, why do you think we seem to struggle against these teams away? Tamworth, Wildson's another one. We just don't seem to do great sometimes on our travels against some of these sides.
Yeah, I know we take a lot of supporting fans, like compared to the rest of the teams in our league, our away fans are incredible. But I do think maybe we create such an atmosphere at Roots Hall that to then play anywhere that it's not quite the same, they struggle not to get motivated, because they'll be up for any game, but maybe they rely on that a bit more than they realise. Because if you look at the attendance stats, Southend and Roots Hall are always way above anyone else.
Yeah.
And I know we still get great attendance at away games, but yeah, I do think maybe they rely on the motivation from the fans to maybe put out their best performance. But yeah, I mean, every game's different, isn't it? Any day it's anyone's. But yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe we've created a too good a atmosphere at Roots Hall, and it's always coming back to bite us. But
yeah, we're definitely one to write off. And like you say, at Roots Hall, we get the fans there. Bit of atmosphere, and that was the case against Truro. Let's finish on a happier note. The week before, 4-0 at home, the FA Trophy. Cardwell on his return with a goal, 2 for Bridgie, 1 for Walker. Finn, what have you made of Cardwell's return? I don't think we spoke to you since he's been back.
No, yeah, and that was why, obviously when I was in Centre Parks, I was a bit gutted that we couldn't do the podcast because she had so much to talk about. But yeah, Cardwell, it's an interesting one, because I think if you asked me, I think we even spoke about it a few weeks ago, or like a month ago.
Yeah.
I think I said, obviously I wouldn't say no, but I wasn't too sure. But the more I thought about it, and now that it's actually happened, I feel really happy about it. I think he's kind of offers something up top that we don't necessarily have. A big forward who obviously has a lot of height, a lot of strength, knows the club really well. Yeah, I feel it's a good signing. I think he's come in, obviously scored, so that was against Truro. So yeah, I think I'm happy he's back, definitely.
So who, for you, Charlie, who's your top pick now? I mean, we've got Dallas to come back, obviously. You've got Slavy there. You've got Walks. You've got Hopper in the background. Kev's got riches of strikers now, isn't he? We just got to feed them.
Yeah, and I think if everyone's
Kendall, another
fit,
one.
he's got he's got a real decision on his hand to make. I think the joy in it is that there's different strikers that give us different options.
Yeah,
We haven't, they're not all the same kind of player, well, most of them anyway. So, it'd be interesting to see. I'd like to see Cardwell and Dallas combined, see what their
yeah,
partnership is like. But then, when Dallas and Kendall, were on form, they were really exciting to watch. So it's how Cardwell just gives you that other dimension to put up top. So it'll be interesting to see once everybody is fully fit, what options we do go with. But it's nice to have those options and have that depth of squad again to pick from. And as you say, I think now, although try not to go back to Saturday's game, but I thought, 9 times out of 10, the delivery and the service has been really good. I think Boys, probably didn't have one of his better games on Saturday,
yeah.
but other than
A lot of
that, his
fans said
delivery
that.
this season has been absolutely fantastic. With Gus on the other side, and I think Bridgie will be knocking on the door lately as well, thinking,
Yeah, I was going to mention Bridgie
I have
because
a
he
start
scored
because that,
2 in that game, didn't he? And
yeah,
he scored a
and I think,
belter last month,
yeah. And I
and
think the
he's looked
games he
good
has
when he's
come on,
played.
he's really, the games he has played, it's quite easy for him. He would have wanted to play a lot more games. It's just the fact of Boys has come in, hit the ground running, that it's made it very difficult for Bridge to come in. But the games Bridge has come in, I thought he's played really well. He's got the right attitude. He's not sort of sulked or anything like that. Come on, he's created goals. He's scored goals. He's been a real attacking threat for us, and I think it won't be before long before I think we see him start a game. To be honest with you.
Chris, we kind of relied on Bridgie the last couple of years as our main outlet, haven't we, to provide. And for me, towards the end of last season, he looked a bit leggy. But like as Charlie said, when he's played this, maybe that's the secret. The fact that we're not playing him every minute of every game, he's a lot fresher, and he's got such good feet, great ability. Zach Brunt, as you know, I know really well. He said, Bridgie's just fantastic. His feet are he's so good with the ball, and when he's on form, he's unstoppable. What have you made of Bridgie? And do you think that is the thing with him? He just needs not to be playing all the time.
I do think his dribbling and his ability to hold on to the ball has been that is his key sort of skills. But yeah, I do think that him coming on as a sub has definitely sort of helped because he does come on more fresh. And I think in like the previous seasons he was sort of starting and we were sort of making him perhaps burn over too much a bit, like maybe playing too many games, and obviously when we were really short of people in the actual squad itself, we obviously had to rely on him quite a lot. So I do think now he's got that sort of freedom to come off the bench and be more of an impact, similar to like what Leon does really. Like, he obviously comes off the bench and does not a similar sort of job as such, but I feel like both of them are really good impact subs. Obviously, Bridge as well with the penalty taking and stuff. He's always been fairly reliable with that. So yeah, I do think that he's definitely better off the bench this season for sure. Yeah,
I think he is knocking on the door, though. As Charlie said, his recent form has been very good, and with all these strikers now, they're all capable of putting the ball in there if they get the service. And Bridgie is one of those that can provide that service. Finn, what you make of Bridgie in a minute? Would you start him?
So it's a difficult one because obviously when Boys is on fire, he is quality. But it's the same with Bridge. I think in certain areas of the pitch we have got quite like nice problems, really, like nice problems to have, where similar to the striker situation, we've got a lot of strikers who are really, really good. But then the left wing back situation is interesting as well. And I think at the end of the day, it's a business based on form, isn't it? So if Bridge is playing better at the moment than Boys, then he should be starting for me. And I think, you look at all that Bridge has done for the club over the years as well.
Does he need a rest, boys?
Well,
we got
possibly.
games coming up thick and fast.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any harm in kind of looking at who we're playing and thinking, right, who's going to actually suit this game more? Who's going to get involved more? Because, like, for example, when we played Tamworth, I think Cardwell, that's a great choice up top because he's a tall
Yeah,
forward. So even if everyone was fit, I think he'd be the first one for me who would be starting against them. So sometimes you just got to match how teams play and think who is going to battle the best against that. So I think, yeah, it's a form business. So if Bridge is playing better, then I'll start Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, Walker scored again. Truro, I think there's 7 for him now. Again, off the bench. Again, for me, he seems to do better coming off the bench than when he starts. Having said that, he was involved in the goal on Saturday. Yeah, he certainly is one that I would look to bring on. But for me, yeah, as Charlie said, I'd love to see Dallas and Cardwell together, see what they can bring. And, let's hope Kendall can get his form back again, get his fitness going, because that could be important come the end of the season. I don't think we're going to do better, if I'm honest, than 7th. 6th, a push, but you're going to need those strikers hitting form come the end of the season. They're all good players. They're all good players. I just don't know what it is with these teams. Like, as we said, Tamworth away, we just seem to go there and.
Well, and this is the
I don't
question I
know,
was going to
Charlie?
ask. I was going to put the question out there. Like, we just spoke about the abundance of choice we have throughout the team. But what is it? There's something that's stopping us from being able to compete against these top 6 sides, and some of these lower league. No disrespect, the lower league sides that we should be comfortably winning. What is it that's stopping us from pushing on? I don't know what the answer is. Is it tactics? Is it fitness? Is it just lack of quality? I don't know what the answer is.
I still think we are a hatchet man short, let's say, in the midfield. You talked about it recently, Charlie, a real kind of nasty player that gets in your faces, that old sort of Peter Butler style player, one of those. I think we are missing one of those, which would then give the likes of Coker a bit more freedom to get forward. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Maybe like a Gary Deegan or something like that. Someone who just
Yeah.
rough it up in the middle and break it all down. And so I suppose the closest we've got is Miley, I suppose, who would sort of play that role at the moment. But it's just frustrating because we've said before, we're so close, but it just seems. I think we're a 7th place. This will be us for for a while, unfortunately. And we've got to be realistic with where we are and the funds we've got, and there are clubs above us that have got big budgets and stuff, and this is where that whole 3 up comes into play, doesn't it? Because I think all the times it's happening, you're going to get more and more sucked into it, and more teams are going to be in this situation.
So in the next round, we've got Bath City away. Again, it could be another one of those that certainly be a nice weekend. Great place to go, Bath. Nice pubs and stuff, restaurants. But you want to go there and win, don't you? Is that another banana skin, Finn?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you kind of look at with a bit of nerves because, I'm not too sure. I mean, I actually back us to have a bit of a cup run this season because I think it would do us a world of good. So hopefully we'll do it. But I was going to say about what you were saying before, but I've forgotten it now. So there you go. That's my insight. Oh yeah,
actually, setting in early.
You were talking about the midfield.
Well, he's getting old now, and he's had a birthday.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
That's what happens. That's what happens, Finn. You get forgetful.
But it was about the midfield, and I think if you look at the midfield that we played against Tamworth, I know we're talking about quite a lot, but the midfield that we played against Tamworth, I think it's Morton, Coker, and Leon. I mean, any of those 3, are they really tough, hard, strong tacklers? I mean, maybe Morton, but not really, right? There's nobody there who's a real tough.
No, he's a for me, he's a luxury player. Spreads the ball really well.
Yeah, exactly. They're 3 really technical, like brilliant players on the day.
Can put it about, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're really missing Noor actually, and I think it's probably missing him way more than I ever thought we would. And that's no disrespect to him, but he's not really a player that you ever come away from a match thinking, "Wow, he played amazing today." Maybe the odd game, but I think he's just one of those players that is so important to the team. And it's only when you take him out that you realise how important he is because he offers that. He'll just sit in and just be strong, be that tackling. He can play it out. So yeah, I think we're missing Noor a lot. And what Charlie said about the budgets as well is interesting of clubs in the league, because I think I definitely get that point. But then if you look at like Boreham Wood, for example, I can't imagine their budget is too. I can't imagine it's too much more than ours, if more at all. But they've made some quality signings. You know, Zach Brunt, we talk about a lot, but Regan Booty. They're players that would have strengthened us a lot. So I just wonder why we kind of don't go in for those players.
Yeah. And another one who seems to have gone missing, I don't know if he's injured at the moment, is Keenan. He seems to have disappeared, doesn't he?
He is injured, yeah.
He's got an injury, is he?
Yeah, he's got a knock at the moment. I don't think he's trained this week, has he? So yeah, he's obviously he's been sidelined with some sort of injury. I'm not too sure what it is.
Yeah. So we are a bit.
Keenan is that sort of not necessarily like puts in hard tackles, but he is always grafting and like running and.
Oh, get stuck in, yeah.
Sort of like a non-league.
He's just a nuisance player, isn't
he? You know, he's really good, and he always puts in like always effort all the time. So yeah, I do agree with you, Phil, that like we do need that sort of person who puts in those hard tackles and has a bit more of a sort of oomph about the aggression, maybe even. But you know, Keenan does do that, but obviously he has got that injury at the moment. So yeah, trying to find that sort of fill that space.
Hopefully, it won't be long before he's available. I'll tell you, we need my brother. He was a dirty git. He used to play that midfield role, and some of the tackles he used to clatter players. But I don't know, he got away with it. You know, ref would have a word with him, no yellow. It's like, seriously, some of them would make him one of your inmates, Charlie. I tell you, some of those tackles today.
I'll tell you what we really need, Phil. What we really need is a hungover Charlie in goal. I think that's what we need.
You certainly don't need that.
That would sort out.
No one needs that. No one needs that.
Well, I used to just look at the ref and get carded. You know, my brother say he used to get away with something. He really did. But yeah, I do feel we do miss that kind of player against these sides, because that's exactly what they bring, isn't it? They just want to rough you up. Tonks exactly is one of those to get in your face, and you know, long balls, horrible team to play.
It's frustrating as well. I think with this season, it feels like every time someone comes back from an injury, another player has to get injured. Like obviously Kendall was out for ages. As soon as he comes back, then Dallas is out. And then you have it with midfield as well. You know, Hussein's out, and then you know players are coming back in. I think Leon was ill for a little bit, and as soon as he's ill, then comes back, then Keenan's out, and it's just like we can't have a fully fit team for even longer than a week. It feels like.
Well, the only ones that are ever present is the keepers, and they just keep dropping the ball. So we just can't seem to get the balance, can we?
No, it's really frustrating. And now obviously Gus is out, and we have been hard done by with injuries and absences and stuff. But I feel like most teams are. But yeah, it's been tough.
Just got to deal with it, haven't you? Okay, that is the end of the first half. We've got what we've got coming up in the halftime show. We've got news from the academy after a great result. We'll look back on the ladies. We're going to be talking to Katie. We've got teammates with Nick Hayes, and we're going to be talking Christmas as well. So don't go away.
This is the halftime show in memory of John Garrell. It's the Southend ladies with Emily and Katie.
Okay, we're struggling to get Emily on tonight, but we have got Katie. Couple of games to go over. obviously we'll work our way backwards like we have done with the first team. So yesterday we played Chelmsford away in the County Cup. 2-0 loss, no bad thing to look back on because they are a quality side, aren't they? How was it?
100%, they're a great team. I mean, sometimes you just have to stand and watch the way they play. Like it's great. I don't think they've lost a game all season either, so still
No.
unbeaten in the league. So yeah, I think you can definitely see the improvements. I mean, we played them opening game of the season, and we lost 4-5.
Yeah, was there for that one.
So then I know it's still a loss, but we're sort of viewing it as it's a building block. Like the way we played against them, it had a lot more structure, it had a lot more purpose. I think even in like the second half, we actually dominated a lot more. They just had a great number 24 that could shoot from anywhere, and she hit the bottom corner every time from a free kick. The first one was, and the second one was,
I think she was the one I saw in the 4-0 defeat in the first game. She looked very quick, very good player.
Yeah, she's a great player. We sort of at 1-0, we sort of thought like there was something in it for us. So we thought second half we're gonna go for it, and we pressed a bit higher, and unfortunately we then got caught out on the attack from them. But at the end of the day, it's a risk you take in football, isn't it? But no, definitely like a building block for us. You can see the improvements in the way we're playing, the way we're communicating as a team. And the way we're building it from goalkeeper, defence, midfield, all the way up to attack. So it is a loss, and we are now unfortunately out of the cup, but it's definitely a step in the right direction for us.
Yeah. So last week played Hertford away. Home. Sorry. No, it was just a point between you before the game. Come out 4-2 winners, which is great. 2 goals for Ellie Nichols, who's having an incredible season. And 2 for Sophie Stagg as well, player I've mentioned a lot. She seems to be a player that's really growing in confidence, and she's now got off the mark with 2 goals as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's gained a lot of confidence recently, Sophie, and I think that's only going to improve her game. She works hard all the time, and I think a goal was pending for a very long time, and she only got what she deserved. I think the first goal was within 4 minutes. It was a great build-up play, and then a sort of darting run from the back to the back post to slot it in. We then conceded 2 goals quite quickly. One of them was a sort of lobbed the keeper from over about halfway line, and then second one was a deflection off one of our defenders. So we went in 2-1 down at half time. But we knew there was something in it for us, and we knew that them 3 points could be key for our season. So we sort of went out second half with a point to prove. Played some good football, played some great link-up play, some like nice little triangles and stuff. And then Sophie got I think it was the third goal. The second goal, sorry, and then Ellie got the third goal, and then we got a penalty within the last kick of the game, and Ellie scored that as well. So we definitely built some momentum from that, and I think that them 3 points bumped us up about 3 spaces in the league.
Yeah, which is great. Gives confidence, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah. And I think it also makes a statement to the league, like, the results haven't gone the way we wanted to this season, and we're not playing where we have been in the past, but we're not out of it. We're still very much working on what we want to work on, and the teams still need to be worried when they play against us. So no, it's definitely all heading in the right direction. And what Nick's doing is great, and he's only going to get better. So
I was going to mention Nick. How is he settling in? And have you noticed in training any differences? Anything you're doing different now?
Yeah, 100%. He seems to have slotted in really well. I think the girls all really, really like him. Really appreciate everything, all the information and stuff he's giving. Training's definitely a lot more constructive, and you can sort of see the stuff we're doing on a Wednesday in training is working on a Sunday. So I think it makes people realise actually we're doing this for a reason. And Nick always says, like, do the basic stuff right. And I think sometimes maybe we forget that, and we try and do all this fancy stuff and try and play around all these players. But really, if you just get the passes right and get the running, like the right runs and stuff, the simple stuff, that's actually what wins you games. So I think it's Nick sort of stripped it back a bit and made us enjoy it, and then then we can build on it from there and progress further.
Super. I don't think you've got a game now, have you, for a couple of weeks for the Christmas break?
I think the league, we were meant to have one on the 4th, but I think the league have changed the fixtures, so I don't think we've got one to the 11th now.
Right, so you've got to be ranked. So you've got to watch the
we've-
turkey over the next couple of weeks.
We've got our Christmas social on the 3rd, so it's a bit delayed, but we can get on before Christmas. So we're going to watch the men's game on the 3rd.
Excellent.
And then we're going to go out afterwards as a team.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, hopefully they can get a win for you. We're going to move on to the academy. Chris, I don't know if you've seen much of the academy. We had the game. Well, they had a game a couple of weeks ago, building up to the FA Cup. That was against Woking, 2-1 win. Ronnie Jerusalem on the score sheet and Joe Poxon. And they've got a quarter-final draw for the Football League Academy Cup against Sutton now. That will be at home on Wednesday, the 18th of February. So looking forward to that one. And then obviously they played the FA Cup youth game. I mean, did you manage to get down to that at all?
I didn't manage to get down to it, but I'm definitely going to go to the next one because I mean, was it at 800 people, 900 maybe?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, get the goalkeeper in the first team for our first team.
Yeah, we're going to mention him.
A couple of penalties, didn't he? So yeah, great result against Swindon, obviously, and yeah, looking forward to obviously like seeing how the next round goes and seeing who we get as well.
So Charlie, we were there sharing our germs and many standout performances, quite a few to go through. Start off with Nick Zlatev. Nikolai, great lad, holds the ball up so well.
Yeah.
Got the important equaliser. Also scored from the pen. He never misses a pen, does Nick? Great performance from him.
Yeah, it's exactly what you wanted from your centre half. He's a big, strong lad up
Striker.
top there for them, and you could see that they wanted to utilise his strength and his pace and stuff because a lot of the time the ball was put up to him, and then work off of him. And there's 2 or 3 chances that he was very unfortunate. Ball just got away from him at the last moment as it come over and stuff. But take nothing away from his performance, he was brilliant, and he took that header really well. And nothing he didn't deserve. He worked so hard that game, as they all did. It was a real graft, but what a game it was. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, Ronnie Jerusalem, obviously Southend fan through and through. Goes to as many games as he can. He had a great game. Almost scored with a 25-yard shot. Put some tackles in. Covers a lot of ground as Ronnie. Great performance from him. Then we had obviously Dylan Lovely in the middle. Cav Miley was chatting him at half time. He was really impressed with Dylan Lovely. Played some great link ups with Ronnie. And then at the back you had Rio Thomas, had a great game. And for me, Emmanuel Onu, he was absolutely superb, the number 2. Absolutely brilliant game.
Yeah,
Scored the winning penalty as well.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game, really good. And like you say, Rio as well. I thought all the lads along the back had really good games.
Left back as well. Up and down.
They didn't create. Swindon didn't create a huge amount. They scored that free kick, but I mean the free kick. It was
what a goal!
It was one of those. The challenge had to happen. The guy was clean through.
Yeah.
It was a tactical challenge that you give the free kick away and then it's 50-50, isn't it? And ultimately he's managed to get it up and over the wall and he took it well, to be fair. There's not much anyone could do about that. But up until that point, they didn't really pose too much of a threat. Southend played really, really well. We started on the front foot, real attacking football, moving the ball quickly around. I think there was a little bit initially, maybe a little bit of nerves that I felt that just needed to be a little bit calmer in possession. Just take a time with a couple of the passes. But once, nerves, calmed down a bit, it was a big deal for them. It was a big crowd under the lights at Roots Hall. A lot of them, say, are fans and stuff. So it's a big occasion for them. But they grew into the game and I think they were worthy winners in my book. I think they didn't look out of place whatsoever. And I think with Wrexham coming up, I think they'll take them on and they'll feel confident that they can get a result against them as well. Rightly so.
Chris mentioned the keeper, Josh Barrett. I mean, you're only ever going to beat him from a free kick like that because he was unstoppable. I mean, he had a couple of really good saves in the first half. Probably, if that had gone 2-0, it might have been a different story, but an unbelievable point-blank save. Made a couple of really good saves, actually, first half. And then at the end of the game, he was quite close to us, wasn't he, drinking the bottles? And I looked at him and said, Josh, you've got this, mate. And you could see in his face, just give it a wink, and you just knew he was going to have it. A bit of that bit of nastiness we talk about as well. Every time they hit the bar and put one over, he was in their faces, and unbelievable. So he was just unstoppable, wasn't he? What a performance from him.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's your answer for the goalkeeping problem at Southend. Honestly,
He didn't lack confidence, does he, Josh?
He was my man of the match, like hands out. He was incredible. I mean, there was, as you said a minute ago, there was that point blank save, like right down close to his feet. He got down to so quickly. I mean, that's as good as a goal for me. That was. You're not going to get a better save than that. I mean, if that's in the Premier League, people are harping on all season about that save.
It was outstanding.
It was phenomenal. It really was. And his goal kicks were brilliant. He was just an all-round performance was spot on.
It was.
Even the penalty shootout, the save, I think it was the first save he made, he got right into the corner. Like, he made that save. The striker didn't miss that. He saved it. Because where the ball was, it was right in the corner. He had to get right across that goal line to get down to it.
Well, like you say, Charlie, he did everything right. It was about decision making. And we talked earlier about sometimes with Colin and Hazy about whether to come to catch it or whether to punch it. Yeah. It's decisions, and Josh just made every decision right for me. Yeah. When you wanted him to catch it, he did. When you wanted him to punch it, he connected. His decision making was just fantastic.
Yeah. And that comes with confidence, like we said. You could see he was a confident. And I said to him, I think it was going into the penalty shootout. I said, "This is our game, mate. This is your game. Like, you've won this. Like, mentally, you've won this.
Completely.
And it, they didn't even score the penalty in the penalty.
No,
shootout,
they didn't.
They didn't. You could see the lads how happy, and even like Danny Heath, and the coaches, how happy. You couldn't stop smiling, and rightly so. They put on such a great performance, and the run they've gone on, it's incredible, and they should be so proud of themselves. And
well, Danny dropped me a text last night and said exactly that. The players absolutely love playing in front of the fans and making them proud, and that's exactly what they're doing at the minute, isn't it? Great turnout.
And I think we can get for the next game. I think we'll take 1,000. I reckon
let's do it. Let's do it
easily. It was 700. I think now, people are starting to listen to see what the boys are about, and
such a joy to watch the football they're playing.
It's really. I was so impressed. It's the first time I've seen them this season. Obviously, I've seen clips online and stuff. So it's the first time I've got around to seeing them this season, and honestly, it was really good football. You won't be disappointed if you come down at all.
Well, the thing is, because of the age, there was a number of players that didn't feature. Mugurunyanga, Joe Poxon is an excellent player. You can name so many. Nathan Woodley, he's now also gone on a dual to Basel United. There's so many good players there that couldn't even, play because of the age limit. And it just seems, what a job Tom and Danny are doing, because whatever players they put out, they just seem to perform. And
you could see that with some of the other lads that come down to watch. It wasn't just those in the squad. I think some of the other lads from the other age group came down, and they all bundled on the pitch with the lads at the end, and it's a real team effort, and you can see that everybody's like just pulling in the right direction.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see a few of those gems in a few years. I certainly think, as I said before, they've got potential. They've just got to keep them focused.
And I think that was a nice thing with Cokes this weekend scoring on his 100th. It shows the lads no, there'd be lots of lads looking at Copes and Bridge, looking at them, thinking,
And they
you've
were
done
there
it,
watching as well.
we can do this. I can do that. I could be in that situation where I'm scoring the winning goal, or playing in front of large crowds and that. So they'll take great credit, and from watching them.
And Chris, one player that you may remember, Leo Roger, he's back coaching now, the under-16s. Like Charlie said, with the likes of Bridgie and Coker, those players will be looking at those two and thinking, well, that's where we got to get to. And they've proved that actually, there is an opportunity. And Leo Roger is another one he's definitely not short of experience and know how to move from the academy into the first team.
Yeah, I think as well, like obviously, like seeing some of the first team players as well, like watching on the game as well. Hopefully, that gives that sort of collectiveness between the first team and the youth team as well. Like sort of like that bridge between obviously seeing them watching the game. They can be like, oh well, I want to perform and actually get in the first team as well. So hopefully that gives them that motivation, that determination to sort of move on and progress with the club. Yeah.
Yeah, well, once again, congratulations to Danny, Tom and the academy. Fantastic result. What a run they're having in the FA Cup and in the league as well, actually. They've got Wrexham, as we mentioned, in the next round. Wrexham won't relish coming to Roots Hall. If we get a good crowd as well, they won't relish it at all. And they shouldn't. Playing with confidence, playing some great stuff. I don't think we've got a date for that yet, have we? But no,
I think it was.
Is it being released?
Is it the 24th? Yeah, there was a date that was put out. I can't remember.
I remember thinking it was a Saturday, so you might get a lot more there because obviously families and stuff might come during the day rather than a Wednesday evening.
Oh, is it on a Saturday? Is it
24th?
Is a Saturday, yeah.
I think my flight arrives back that day. Could I get there?
I can't remember if I've just pulled that date out the air, but I do remember reading that.
Yeah, I think you might be right. So if it's, I guess it'll probably be a 3:00 or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any.
Yeah, I think the first team are playing as well. It's a bit of a strange one. Yeah, we're away that day.
Away, then I guess it'll be potentially at Roots Hall.
Oh, so maybe you won't get as many fans then if there's
no.
Yeah, that'd be
Where's the away game?
If you can't get away, then certainly get down to Roots Hall to watch, because honestly,
absolutely,
they're such a good watch. But yeah, congratulations, guys, and let's go and smash Wrexham. And yeah, if you can get down and see it. Okay, what we got next? We've got teammates with Nick Hayes.
Best dressed. I think the only one who has a go every day is probably Walks, to be honest. And worst dressed. Sorry, Morts, but it's definitely Morts. Best trainer. I'd say us goalies, we do train hard, but I think I've got to give it to Harry Taylor. And then worst trainer. To be fair, no one really trains badly. I don't know I can actually give that to him. No, do you know what? I'm going to say Wayne. Whenever Wayne joins in, he's terrible. Worst playlist. To be fair, no one's got a bad playlist, you know. Colin just sometimes pulls out some random tracks. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. But in the team joker, I'll give it to Crowther or Colin. They are hilarious. Always late, that's Keenan, all the time. Most intelligent, Sammy Austin, and Morts together. They're just like, when they're together, the intellect just grows. Who needs help? I think Colin just being around him a lot. He needs some serious help, that kid. Who pays most attention? Boise's in the mirror all the time, doing his hair, making sure that mallet looks good. What would be your football superpower? Just to be like Donnarumma, that is a superpower in itself.
Yeah, that was Nick Hayes. No surprises there. Boise, yeah. Actually, Zach Brunt's dad, I saw him the other week, and he said Dak and Boise have known each other since about 14, going back to Man City, Sheffield United. And he was exactly the same then, in front of the mirror all the time. Things don't change, do they? And Keenan being late, that doesn't change. It's never going to change. But yeah, that was Nick Hayes. Okay. Christmas, guys. So, what I want to know is what is on your list, and if you had a choice, if you could pick one thing, what would it be? We will start with you, Katie. What's on your Christmas list?
I've gone a bit boring this year, to be fair. I've just asked for some more football socks, some new Nike socks.
She's
Start
easy
fresh.
to please.
And I have bought myself an early Christmas present. I bought a new pair of football boots, but they're a bit too expensive to ask for from Santa, so I bought them for myself. But yeah, I've not really asked for a lot, to be honest.
Fair enough. You're easy.
Yeah.
Chris, what you got on your list, mate?
Are we talking Southend or personally?
Yeah, anything. Both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite a gamer, so anything like PlayStation related. And I'm also like looking at sort of GoPro cameras as well, trying to achieve diversity with his vlogs on YouTube. So
yeah,
a GoPro camera would be ideal. Maybe just a starter one for now. Yeah. I think nothing else though. Just
Yeah, you take anything. Charlie, some flu remedy probably for you.
Yeah, or just a bottle of whiskey, that'll do the job.
Yeah, that'll do the job.
Yeah. No, I'm a bit, like you said, I think the older you get, the more boring you get, don't you? Like, that's the sign that you've become an adult, when you're just like, socks.
Yeah, I don't care.
A bottle of something. I mean, last year I bought, I asked my brother what he wanted. He was like, just give me cash. And I was like, oh, that's a bit boring. Gave him cash.
Yeah, it is.
This year, he was like, right, what do you guys want for Christmas? And I said, to be honest, there's nothing that's jumping out at me. Like, just give me the cash, and if something comes up, I'll sort myself out. And he was like, don't be boring. So, but I mean, it's just literally a case. There's a couple of jumpers I've asked for, and the rest, there's nothing really that's jumping out at me this year, to be honest with you. If anyone's got £1 million they want to chuck my way, I'm not going to turn it down. But
well, you could do the lottery, see what happens at the weekend. 15 mil.
Although I did do the postcode lottery, and the postcode lottery, they won £1 million a couple of streets up the road from me. So I was a bit unfortunate. I was like, damn, yeah, a bit too close for home.
The wrong street. Buy the club for that, couldn't you? Definitely, and more.
Nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, blimey. Well, I've treated myself this year to a new shower tray, because it decided to crack last week, and we had flood through the ceiling. Oh my God. So I've been without a shower now for about a week. Don't worry, I don't smell. We've got a bath. It's just a pain in the arse though, isn't it? Because it just ruins everything. Literally, it just takes forever to sort out. And it was not an easy one, because I've had to take tiles out. Oh, God, just nightmare. So thankfully, my next door neighbour's doing a job. He's a builder, so he's managed to sort that out for us. So it's almost back. So almost after we can get a shower back. I'll be happy just to have a hot shower for Christmas, literally. That'll please me. A new knee would be good. If I can get a new knee, that'll be nice. 3 points against Braintree. Definitely. Yeah. What I'm looking for. Let's talk about that next. So Braintree away, Boxing Day. Speaking to Cav last week, he said it's a horrible place to go. Another one of those places players don't particularly like to go. It's very open there. If it's wet, not the best. And they've also, who is it? Finn mentioned Boreham signing some good players. They've taken Marley Marshall Miranda, very good player from Braintree, so they won't have him. So that's one less player to worry about. And their form has not been great at all recently. I think they were 0-0 with Hartlepool the weekend. Charlie, what are your thoughts on Braintree? Have you got a ticket?
I haven't. No, I'm away. Well, I say I'm away. I'm with family and out over Christmas. So, can get to the game. Unfortunately, I'll be tuning into their zone throughout the day, watching it anyway and listening to it on the radio. But I mean, it's not going to be an easy game, I don't think. I think we saw that when we played them last season. I think, was it 1-0? I think, was it Bim's goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I think it will be a similar situation this season.
1-0
as well.
at home as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they don't, they're no rollover and stuff, and their result, they're very up and down. They're not your most predictable side. They pull some great results out. Draw against Hartlepool's not a bad result. I mean, it done us a favour, to be
No, to
honest.
be
'Cause I think
fair,
if had Hartlepool won that, I think they would have gone above us, wouldn't they? For the time being, but I think. I mean, I've said it before. I think the results, the performances, against Tamworth, fortunately for us, are kind of far and few between. We don't have many performances like that. And listening to Kev's reaction, I don't think he'll stand for any sort of performance like a repeat of Saturday. I think he would have put his thoughts across to them, and maybe a few shots up the backside to a few of the guys there to say. And I think that's where having a big squad will come into play as well, because if people aren't performing, I think Kev will change it if he needs to and stuff. Especially the longer the season goes on, while you're in and around that, you don't want to sort of be cut adrift of those teams in the top six. It is kind of a mini league within itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a couple of games in hand, which we need to win them ideally, but it won't be an easy game. Like you said, it's going to be the elements, and it's a very open ground there. The fans right on top of you on the pitch. Obviously, I'll be confident in that we will get a result. But I think it will be I think we'll have to really grind at it to get that result.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, hopefully we can get back on winning ways for Boxing Day. Well, we are back on Sunday, not on Monday next week. We're on Sunday, 4 p.m. We're going to have reaction from that game. We've also got Nick back with us, the bus driver, with his story. So looking forward to that. We're also joined by fan Alex. Charlie, do you want to tell us about Alex? What's the story with him? It's an interesting one.
I mean, it's he's sort of thrown a spanner into the works. So anyone who's, I think he's mainly across TikTok. He may have an Instagram account, but he's on TikTok, and you may have seen that there's a Man United fan that's doing a challenge, waiting for 5 games in a row before he cuts his hair. And the way he's going, he's got a head of a barnet on him. So we've got a fan, Alex, who is doing something similar, but he is not shaving until Southend win 5 games in a row. However,
he's
there
going
is
to
a
look rubble
slight change. So at the moment, he's got quite a beard on him. But with Christmas coming up, he's decided to shave it because he doesn't want to look untidy going into the Christmas with family and
Fair
stuff.
enough.
So he's going to start it again after the Christmas period. So he'll be on Sunday, but he will be probably a little bit more clean shaven.
The journey starts here.
More then. Yeah, we'll speak to him more on Sunday as to the rules and that. I think he's got a few different sort of rules in terms of what counts, what doesn't count, and things like that. But yeah, he's one to watch out for. But we'll speak to him more on Sunday.
So when I get back from the Philippines, I want to see a clean-shaven Alex, not Forrest Gump in front of us.
I know.
Basically.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we'll get him on, I'm sure.
Gump.
We'll get him on, maybe a month's time or a couple of months' time, see how he's getting on, and fingers crossed, like you say, he's clean-shaven.
Excellent. So we'll have Alex. We've got, obviously, as I said, Nick. Also, before that, we're going to have for you on Christmas Eve a feature-length exclusive interview. So Charlie and myself have been running a series. We're not going to tell you too much about it. It's called The Debate, and where we've been debating our best 11 over the 35 years that we've supported the club. Now, we're not going to give away who we've selected. We've got up to a certain point. But one of those players we've done a number of interviews, but one of those players we interviewed, such a brilliant interview. We said, we've got to put it out for Christmas, give you a treat. We're not going to reveal the rest of them until the end of the season and put those episodes out. But we are going to put the one episode out on Christmas Eve, and that was with the brilliant Ricky Otto. Great interview, wasn't it? I mean, we spoke for about an hour. We could have done 5 hours at least. What an interesting guy.
I mean, any Southend fan, you're going to know who Ricky Otto is.
Yeah, it's a treat.
And even if you don't, you want to listen to this interview. What an interesting guy. We won't go into all the detail, but he's had a colourful life, shall we say. from growing up and how he got into football and what's, what he's doing after football, which is equally really interesting. So, like you said, he's a bloke that you could sit down with for hours on end and just listen to. He was just, incredible interview.
He was gold, wasn't he? Absolute gold.
Yeah.
And hearing about Barry Fry as well and all those guys. Yeah. It's a brilliant interview. So do look out for that. We're going to release that on Christmas Eve. And then we will obviously see you on Sunday for the show. So will Katie get her socks? That's the big question. We will find out. We'll find out. So thank you to our sponsor, Surgical Holdings. Thank you to our listeners. Chris, thank you for coming on. It's been great having you.
Thank you, Chris.
Have a great Christmas, mate. Thank you to Finn. We lost him. He's gone off. Also Charlie and Katie. And we will see you then. Hopefully we will be back with 3 points. So have a great Christmas, guys, and we will speak to you soon.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.